What's going on? Today we're going to take a look at a rational reason. We're going to use logic here to maybe assess why Bitcoin is selling off, why we're seeing the cryptocurrency market go down during such bullish times. As you guys remember, the ETF was approved, all 11, on the 10th of January, and on the 11th they began trading. We did see a new yearly high. Bitcoin pushed up to 49K and change just to fall lower. So what's going on? An ETF is almost by definition bullish. You're having a new on-ramp of fiat that wasn't previously available to be siphoned into Bitcoin and into the crypto market. So something isn't quite right here. So today I'm going to try to explain my opinion on why Bitcoin is dumping and exactly when we're going to see that reversal. Well, let's jump into it. So this is a little complex of an issue. So why could buying spark lower prices? Where is this pressure coming from? Well, there's two very logical places. First off, we're going to take a look here at the ETF fees sorted by amount. What we see here is a kind of baseline around 0.25%. However, when we go down all the way to the Bitcoin Grayscale Trust, we see a really large fee here. That's 1.5%. And I do believe that this has been around in Grayscale for many years. So there's some logical kind of movements and shifts of money. Maybe we can call it rotation. Let's think about Grayscale. Over the last maybe decade of Grayscale's trading, people have bought into GBTC to get exposure to Bitcoin in a way that they were able to previous to an ETF. And we did talk about some of this concept over the last, months of streams, kind of the capital rotation once this happens. So essentially, people jumped into Grayscale. They have these large fees. And until recently, I don't believe GBTC was able to be redeemed at all on the ETF, on the approval. Not only were they now able to be redeemed or sold, we have other competition. We have much lower fees. So logically, people are selling their GBTC with plans to buy a different ETF at a lower fee. Now, obviously not 100% of this money. It's not complete, not every penny. But to a large degree, we can expect to see GBTC sell off. Lots of people jumped in when the premium was negative or it was at a discount. That discount window has narrowed to less than 10% now. And I believe that this downside pressure, while bearish, is contained. There is only a certain amount of GBTC that's going to look to flee the trust into the lower fee ETF. And unfortunately, until that stops, we're unlikely to see that green that we're waiting for. So let's take a look here. This is a little balance sheet of GBTC. And you can see at September 14th in 2022, they added, I guess that's when they started, 600,000 Bitcoin. Small, well, not so small, some pretty decent sized sales. But since the ETF approval and since it started trading, we have seen outflows, at least here being reported at about 4.5 thousand Bitcoin, which amounts to 100, maybe a little bit more, $100 million worth of selling. This is going to be something to really keep an eye on. Now, there is a problem. Even though we have this nice chart here, this data is going to be lagging. And honestly, I'm not sure how well we can trust it. We could look at the on-chain data, but that would assume that we know all of GBTC's wallets, etc. There's some holes in the ship here. See, there's some holes in the ship here. So while we're seeing these GBTC outflows, I do expect to see either further downside or at least sideways bloody candles that aren't very fun. When this quantifiable amount, whatever it is, trickles out, no more left to sell, or at least no more people looking to rotate, I believe that we're going to see that selling pressure lifted off the market. Now, this might be a common thought. I don't know. This is my honest opinion. This is the only thing that adds up logically. We had inflows that actually matched or were greater than the outflows in GBTC, yet price went down. That doesn't make sense unless you have some kind of mechanic here where GBTC is selling and the ETFs are doing maybe over the OTC maybe dealing directly with Coinbase and buying their coins off the market. So those buys aren't impacting price. However, GBT sells clearly are. As we've seen their holdings move down and price move down, I think that that's a pretty good connection. Here's an article that I actually found after I started thinking about this, and I think that they're really on point here. GBTC closing the NAV discount. We talked about the opportunistic people jumping in at the discount. Steep fees. I think that's the biggest player here. GBTC is going to be forced to either weather the storm of these outflows or maybe adjust their fee setup in order to stop the bleeding of their funds. Not even sure. I didn't read this article. ETF analyst expects more over time. Maybe that's me. Maybe it is me. I don't know. Anything, I didn't even read through this. It just backed me up, so I'm going to pull it up. On Saturday, Eric Balchuanis. Who knows Eric Balchuanis? Anybody here? I've never heard of him, but he's a senior ETF analyst for Bloomberg. Shared insights on the 9 newborn spot ETFs, which impressively gathered $1.4 billion in cash. That matches almost tripling the outflows from Grayscale. Now, I guess the spin or the extra alpha I'm putting on this is the mechanics at play in the selling and buying. This isn't happening at market. This does set us up. You guys know I'm the biggest bull ever, and even with GBT selling, I don't care. Price doesn't go just up though, and we are faced with that reality commonly here. The mechanics, where they're getting this Bitcoin. So if I buy from you over there, Mr. Chat, if I buy $1 million worth of Bitcoin and you just send it to my wallet from your wallet, there's zero impact on the market at all. However, it does set us up for a bullish future. That bullish future being when the OTC Bitcoin is dried up. At some point, especially, I don't expect to see 1.4 billion in inflows from ETFs every day, but it is reasonable to believe that there will be some amount of inflows, and at some point, we won't have the OTC Bitcoin to cover those spreads, and that could set us up for what people are talking about as the supply shock. This is a really big topic in Bitcoin that we've kind of nerded out about for years, and it's this hypothetical or maybe inevitable situation where there are simply no Bitcoin available for sale, or maybe in a less exaggerated way, not enough to cover the demand. And with ETFs, the way that they work, and I'm no expert, is that they settle, I believe, at the end of the day. So there could be a very logical situation where there simply aren't enough Bitcoin available or readily available at market price for them to buy. And that could lead to a supply shock squeeze. And I know you guys have seen these articles popping up here and there, kind of stroking those bullish flames. This is not what I wanted. GBTC premium is trended up all through 23, hitting almost 0% this year. And now we're seeing these outflows. I'm not actually sure if that will push the premium down. It probably will, won't it? Interesting. But there's another factor here. So it's not just GBTC. GBTC isn't a bad guy, even. This is just a natural flow, money looking for the most efficient outlet. But we have one more source of this selling. So it's not just GBTC. We see something actually happening right here. Where are we? I believe it started in October. Here we go. In October, that's when we saw Ordinals jump onto the Bitcoin blockchain, BRC20. Since then, we have heard day in and day out about the Bitcoin fees and this blah, blah, attacking Bitcoin, whatever. I'm not going to weigh in on that. However, one thing they absolutely did, and you can't even argue against this, is Ordinals have pushed up the fees accrued by miners in every Coinbase reward. When we look at on-chain statistics, we see that those miners are selling more Bitcoin. And really, right after the ETF, we saw a huge inflow from miners right to exchanges, and typically that is selling pressure. No surprise, price did move down. But let's jump into the charts. How bad is this damage? Are we cooked? Is the bull run over? I don't think so. Here we go. Let's pull it up, boys. There we go. I told you it wasn't clickbait. The exact date, though, is whenever those outflows stop. So maybe it is a little clickbait. Let's zoom out here and let's take a peek at our damage. It is Monday. It is a holiday. So I will remind you, it is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Markets aren't open. I don't think banks are open, but Bitcoin never sleeps. And actually relevant to that, I believe only the iShares Bitcoin Trust is trading right now. I believe it's 24/7, 365, where the other ETFs are actually just traditional market hours. So I want to take a little zoom out here and assess the damage. Assess it. We opened this month roughly where we are now. It's actually 42.2, and that number is going to come back into play and be very, very important. Very important. On the ETF news, we did move up to 49 and change, and we've moved now back down to the monthly open. This is not what I want in a monthly candle. However, we're not even halfway through the month. There's plenty of time. In this month, we've gone lower than the open. We've gone higher to a new 23 high. So right now, to be hanging out roughly where we started, not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Absolutely not the end of the world. If we zoom out a little more, just a little more, don't even worry about it. I have what I have written here as the God line. And I wanted it to be kind of exaggerated, kind of hypey, because it really is important. It is that important. The price of 42.2. And I'll zoom in really close so you can see it right here. 42.2. This is where the year opened. We have traded below it in this month, but we have found support there. And this is going to be the critical short-term signal, in my opinion, of where the market is heading. It seems simple, but people probably have already lost kind of count or track of this open. And that line actually goes deeper. So it's the yearly open. We zoom into the 3-month, the quarterly, obviously the year started, new quarter started right there. Go to the month, obviously, again, you start a new quarter, a new year, you start a new month. Right here, we have all these really large time frames, and they're all looking at 42.2. So while we're above 42.2, I think things are pretty much fine. We will go back to the little diagram because the diagram's not looking great. But 42.2, here's my expectations for the month. I think we trade at 42.2 for a good amount of this month. It is likely where we're going to see the volume in January. And it's going to probably be stressful at this level. We're going to end up hating it, likely how we hated around 31K for a while. We zoom down to the week, we can see this week did open below that level, but has now moved back above. And we can find on the weekly here, large volume on last week's candle. This is pretty bearish. This top wick is showing a selling pressure. The close below last week's open, giving us a bearish engulfing candle. And what's really interesting, I just noticed last week, or no, the week before, opened right at this 42.2. This is really, really important price level for the very short term of Bitcoin. In this week, looking above us and below us, we can find local resistance at 43.9 and local support at 41.7. Either of these are likely to yield a profitable position for the right trader. I'm not going to tell you how to trade it. That's up to you. But likely we're going to see some interactions with these prices, both of them, I would say, this week. On to the day, things are looking pretty bad. Pretty bad on the day. As we said earlier, we don't really expect these conditions to change until the factors we talked about have kind of exhausted themselves. On the day, we have reached up to yesterday's open at 42.8 and rejected. There we go. Dream it, BD. Joining the crew. If you're out there, I haven't even chilled anything this stream. We're just getting right to the alpha. If you're out there and you haven't subscribed yet, do me a favor. We are so close to 100,000 subscribers, and with your help, we can get there very soon. So please subscribe. I'd love to shout you out. Join our fam. Smash the like buttons. Engage with the live stream. Throw a comment in the chat. Vote in the poll. Share it out. Like, subscribe. You know the deal. The more you do that, YouTube will show our stream to more people, and that's how our family grows. I appreciate you guys. On the day, I don't know if we've topped out here today. I haven't done too much low time frame analysis, but we'll take a look at that into the stream. But certainly a level we would expect to see price retrace to and potentially reject from. Maybe the diagram will have a little bit more for us. Looking on the day, we might say, well, 46K looks pretty juicy. After the high swing on the ETF and the resulting sell-off, we've left behind a pretty inefficient point in price action. This daily candle dropped from 46, closed at 42 with a low of 41.5. That's a pretty big move. Looking to the left, kind of resembling maybe December 11th. That's pretty close. Actually, those are really similar. That's kind of cool. I'm just going to wing it here. These are kind of similar. We did have a higher high versus a lower high, but this, call it distribution, but kind of sideways distribution. I don't know. Hanging out. Let's just say hanging out at a high price before a resulting low candle. Now, this price action looks nothing like December 11th, but it's not something we haven't seen before. This inefficiency left behind by the market very often is filled back in. It doesn't necessarily have to be right now, but I would guess, if not this week, probably early next week. But we'll see what happens. Markets aren't even open yet. But 46,000 likely going to be the place that I look to take a position, maybe a hedge short. That's not because I'm bearish. It's not because I'm bearish. It's because the price moves up and down. It doesn't just go up. Even in the most bullish of scenarios, it does not just go up. And I do want to say, guys, I'm not trying to fud anyone out with this, with the title and thumbnail. It really is, in my opinion, the actual reason Bitcoin went down. Nothing else logically makes sense to me. I know people want to say grayscale, or not grayscale, BlackRock, spooky. They're controlling our minds with the gay frogs. I don't know. But in reality, I don't think they're really directly related to this sell-off. If anything, I believe all of the ETFs would prefer the price to go up. Remember, ETFs aren't really buying Bitcoin for themselves. They're buying it for their clients. What makes clients buy more Bitcoin? Price going up, number going up. We know that. That is locked and loaded. That is locked and loaded. Okay, so at the daily resistance here, we have a nice little order block on the day acting as resistance, which gives me less confidence that we're actually going to break 42.8 right now and close above. Anything's possible. Absolutely anything's possible. But yeah, this little order block interacting with price. When we zoom in, we'll get a better idea. Let me go back to the diagram here. This diagram has served us pretty freaking well. Pretty well. We're looking at a channel that started all the way back in October. We had an ascending parallel channel that broke to the upside, started looking very good, broke up as we typically expect this flat top descending low pattern to do. And then after the ETF plummeted down into the channel again, repeating almost what we saw on January 3rd, touching the bottom of the channel and wicking up. But here's what I don't like. We did wick back up. Almost to the exact same price, actually. But we dumped back down and closed lower. We've closed below this channel, and that makes me a little uncomfortable for the short term, especially when we combine this with the selling factors or the selling pressure in the market that we described earlier in the episode. This is not where I want price to be. Ideally, we see this week trend up and we get a close maybe at the top of the channel. That'd be phenomenal. 45, where do we have this? 44, close enough. 44. Yeah, it's actually not close enough. Might have to go a little bit higher. I will feel much better when we get out of this area, because if you guys haven't seen this before, a lot of people joining us for the first time, hopefully, knock on wood. Niels Wooters is joining us for the first time, perhaps subscribing. I didn't even see that one. Shout out to you, my friend. Because we had talked about the scenario where this looks bad, and that scenario was this. Falling into the channel, coming back up, testing the top of the channel, falling back down, maybe one more test on the bottom, and really getting a retracement in. That is what I've been afraid of. And at this moment, looks more likely, obviously, than it has. Things were looking pretty good until that close yesterday. I can't get over it. Now, I could definitely say, well, maybe this channel isn't perfect. And it isn't. It isn't. Maybe we can fit it to look a little better, right? How can we do that? We could do this. Something like that. I don't know, actually, I'd fit it better. That's pretty fit. That's a fit channel. This channel's been on its treadmill. It's a fit channel. Maybe like that. We could say something like this. I don't really like it as much. Doesn't see, well, price actually interacting pretty damn well with it, even this way. Maybe this is the better way. Let's see what this looks like. That would give us a little bit more room to the downside, like 41.1, and then that would put the top of the channel right there at 44, kind of right around the weekly close, or the weekly open, last week's close. Yeah, that's right. That would be better. I don't want to do this because I think this is just like modifying the chart to be what I want it to be, because of course, always be aware of the TA grifters. You can make a chart show anything if you want. The trick to really developing your trading skills is to see a chart for what's there. Sounds stupid, but not what you want to see. And new traders do struggle with that, myself included, especially when I was new. I still do sometimes. I'm battling with it in real time here with you. I'm just going to delete these. It could look like this and things wouldn't be quite as bad. And that does give us a cutoff point, 41.3, something like that down here. Top of channel 44 exactly on the week. Maybe. What do you guys think? Yay or nay? We'll see. We'll see. Let me see. Dominance really shitting the bed last week, closing in a bearish engulf, closing below previous resistance and potentially local support. Not a great look for dominance, but not a bad signal for the rest of crypto. Dominance moving up is not what we would expect in a bull market. In fact, we've never really seen dominance move up in a bull market. We've only really ever seen it move down in a bull market. So coming on down, looking to test that 50% could hold us support. But if we see it break, I would expect some love specifically for, let's see, like Ethereum, XRP, likely Sol, ADA. What else is in the top 10 now? I don't even know what's in the top 10 anymore. BNB, all the large market cap, but also the tiny caps likely to see some love on that as well, provided the selling isn't too bad on the corn here. I'll throw up some fibs really quick. Let me just do this for me. Past the 618, not ideal. Right down there at the 786 retracement. Kind of bearish. Well, here, not much else. All right, I'm going to go down to really low time frames. Let me get a read on what's happening here. We had some green candles in the waiting room. Shout out to everybody who's still here from the beginning of the episode. You guys are rad. I love you guys. Let me get this compass aligned here, and then I'm going to jump to the chat. Little bearish signals on the 1. 5 minute looking somewhat stronger here. Compared to the 1 hour or 1 minute, we're doing 1 minute TA. God help me. Little bearish divergence here. RSI not reaching higher with price, but when you move to the 5, it's not there. We're at a lower high versus our previous high. And here we are at a lower high in RSI. So that's kind of wiping that fear for the really low time frame from me. 5 minute market cipher B looks rather strong. Money flow making higher highs and higher lows. I like that. I like that. That's good. 15 minute kind of saggy though. Kind of saggy. Ooh, 30 might be shaping up. Not seeing anything distinctly bullish yet. 2 hour looking to roll over, but that could take days at this point. Could take days. All right. We are moving up to that daily order block and potentially finding resistance again. Let's mark this on our chart just so we know. Just so we know. This is looking weird. What do you guys think? I don't even want to like throw out an analysis because this is kind of odd price action. We had what almost looked like a chair paint. Just like a little low res pixel chair, right? Then we came back up, tested our high, higher low. Let's flip the chart, get a little perspective. Another touch of 41.7, and this does not look good. If we see price move to 41.7, this is not looking so hot. We then have the flat top ascending low. Unfortunately, it's inverted, and that would be a pretty bearish take here. Not exactly saying it's going there right now, just kind of riffing. You know? Yeah, no. I'm just gonna pull to the chat. I don't want to speculate too much. We'll save that for later in the episode. So I'm gonna pull up the old chat here. Sorry guys, I was not ignoring you. Simply wanted to get through what I was doing, and YouTube's not showing me the chat. So let me see. All right, we got it pulled up. We got 500 votes on the poll. 52% of us remaining at the 50K mark. I'll take it. Hell yeah, bulls. Let's go. Let's go. Sprouksy, show longs and shorts. They all got stopped. They all got stopped. Well, yeah, they all got stopped. I don't really have any. I have like really old ones open. I could show you guys the 16.5K long, but what is that really? You know, like none of these are real time or new. I have 0 new trades open. The only thing, I guess this is some alpha, the only thing I'm really looking to do here at this price, and not 42.7, preferably 46, 48. The only thing I'm really looking to do is to hedge against my spot holdings. I have not sold any of my spot this year or last year, right? Yeah. Did not sell any of my spot this year or last year. I did have longs open from deep down in the lows end of 22 that are still open, but I have closed most of them at this point. They're not very interesting to show you, right? Not very interesting to show you. Let me see if this is, I don't know if anything else got stopped. There you go. Here's some stuff, but these are all old. You have that 16.5 long. That's exciting, but it's nothing new. The Litecoin long is it's still hanging out here from $62, and this Ape long has been open forever, and I really just want to close it. It is at 200%. Why wouldn't I close it? Why haven't I closed it is the question. That is a good question. That's a great question. Who asked? Why don't you mind your own business? Asking me why I didn't close it. Traded up to 188. Okay. This does not look the best. Not gonna lie. This is not looking the best. Maybe I should move the stop up. 20. Order amended. Yeah, I'm gonna do that later. Not gonna do it while live. Yeah, here's some positions. They're not very exciting. They're very old. But if I open any new ones, I will let you guys know. I will, as I always do. All right, back to reading. Getting distracted again. What's up, Foxy? I see you, brother. Sin, how you doing? Hype it up. Oh yeah. Cons Canless Jr. wants me to look at XTZ. Tezos. I will pull up Tezos because I did see Tezos kind of popping out of CoinGecko. It was on the top gainers yesterday at some point. We're also going to look at Matic because somebody wanted to. Ooh, Tezos. Nice. The coin that no one really talks about it anymore. I don't know if anybody really talked about it. No, they did. At some point they did. We'll take a look at Tezos. We'll take a look at Matic. I'm sure there's... What do you guys want to see? 1 in chat for Matic, 2 for Tezos. Your votes will decide. All right. Flare has a Google Cloud deal. Oh, God. I don't even want to talk shit on XRP or Flare or anything like that, but unrelated. How many coins have we heard this about? What does it really mean? They got a deal? Like what? They're just going to host their nodes on Amazon Cloud Services or something? Like, I have heard this exact language from, I don't even, 1,000. I'm just making that number up. Like 1,000 different coins. Google partnership, Amazon Cloud partnership, Walmart partnership. Rest in peace. I don't trust any of that. Also, even if I did trust it, I have literally never seen it matter. I've never seen that kind of news come out and anything do well, other than maybe peak bull market where everything's going up anyway. Hit that like button. Hell yeah, it doesn't matter to you. Good to see you, brother. What's up, lion in my pocket? You're bullish on ETH if you can get above 25.50 today. You know, Ethereum should definitely be on our list of looking into. Even Gareth Soloway getting tired. Wait, what? Even Gareth Soloway getting tired of Cohen saying the same thing over and over again. Crazy how some of these, how smart some of these bears are. But damn, have they been wrong. I don't even know. Is Benjamin Cohen a bear? Benjamin Cohen? Is he? He's a smart dude. Gareth is a smart dude. Bitcoin it's weird. Over 15 years now, basically. It's almost only gone up. It spent a lot of time doing nothing. But it's almost only gone up. It's never gone down and stayed down. Yet there's this like addiction. I think what happens is people get burned, right? They just get burned on Bitcoin. And then they like revenge want it to go down forever. They want to get all their money back with shorts and they want to laugh at everyone else because they don't want to feel wrong. I'm not even talking about Gareth or Cohen or anybody. It's just kind of a thing. I don't know. I can't even pretend to know what it would be like to be bearish on Bitcoin. Like, I know what it's like to be bearish for a year, 2 years, seeing price go down. But like to be like, this is only going to go down. It's never going to go up again. It's just a crazy thought to me. I don't know. We'll definitely look at Ethereum too. Pulling that up. What's up, John Doe? How you doing, man? Mr. John Doe. Oh, here's the ones and zeros. Ones, twos, ones, twos, ones. Looks like we're going to do Matic first. But then we'll do Tezos. Gala, it's time to buy, says Nebrox. Is it? Why is it time to buy Gala? Because you enlighten us. Cat? That's a weird name, Sylv. Why is that your name? Any Litecoin butt trades going on? Nah, no. Nah, do that. Just the long. Just the long that we've had open. That I opened accidentally for $25. I did open somewhere else, so maybe I do have a trade. Yeah. There you go. There you go. I have 0.1, negative 0.1 BTC. Hey, actually, this is great. Here you are. In the spirit of transparency, which is what we do here. We don't shill tokens, projects for money. We don't take advantage of you. We don't hide our trades and pretend we're perfect or something. Guys, I lose trades all the time. You see me. The only short I'm looking at right here, 46K is a limit order. Just waiting. That's it. I guess I was also looking for a really tiny long down here at this wick, but we didn't get it yet. Not very exciting. This Litecoin trade is up a good percent. It sucks that I did it live and I typed it in and it was not $25 margin. I don't know what happened. It just then opened $25 margin. I don't know. Tom's got the data. Chirpow's got the data, baby. Speaking of that, Chirpow. 31st, right? 31st. Let me double check. I think it's the 31st. It's Saturday the 30th. I haven't walked on the treadmill at all. He's been standing here like a joker. Joker. All right, let me Fed rate monitor tool. Let's see. We haven't checked in on this. 2 weeks, 2 days. 2 weeks, 2 days. Or 16 days till the Chirpow. You better be here. Not a lot of mix up on the probabilities. 5.25 to 5.5 with a 3% chance of a cut. That'd be wild. I know there are a lot of macro forces. Data's coming out. I know people are getting hyped. It would be interesting to see a rate cut already, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. But what I will get my hopes up about is that you will join us for Chirpow. On the... Man, I should have done that math. January 31st. That was right. The last day of the month. Let's go. Oh, let's go. All right, we're going to pull up some charts. It is exciting. That's right, Michael. Bitcoin, says retail crypto noobs. Bitcoin not doing too much right now. Kind of back to this daily order block as we were talking about, even before it did. Not necessarily looking for it to break during this live. I would love to see it break during this live, but not seeing it quite yet. Satchel Thales dropped me some 420 coin. Thank you, my friend. Speaking of 420, guys, smash the like button. Let's get 420 likes so that we can all blaze our way through this Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I know, as viewers, it's your favorite holiday. You look forward to it all year. You just want to celebrate it. And I'm glad you chose to celebrate it with me. I'm glad. Voxies. Check Voxies. You check Voxies. Do it. What's up, main event? Look at Beam. Beam has been on my radar too, weirdly. Exciting times, Tonzi. Absolutely. Absolutely. I got to refresh the chat. I'm way far up. Bet, please. You are sorry. You already started. Started what, Elo Brown? I don't know what you started, man, but I know what you started. BCB. Blockchain backer sold his Bitcoin for alts at 45K. 45K post ETF or pre ETF is the question. How's the snow? The snow, actually, it's weird. It was sideways. It was snowing sideways here, but it didn't accumulate. It's kind of bare now. It's very cold. Just put up all your MLK decorations, line in my pocket. I'm going to rip some dabs and do the exact same thing after this. I have so many decorations to put up, so much to celebrate. Pre-ETF, interesting. Loading name, remember you? You joined exactly 1 year ago. How would I not remember you, man? I shout you out like every day we're live. It's good to see you. What's up, Ava Juarez? Check out Luna C. We've got a few charts pulled up. We can get to them. You look at Luna C. I don't know if we'll have much to say, but we'll pull it up here. We're going to look at Matic in just a second. Ooh, weird. We're going to look at Matic in just a second. Then we're going to take a peek at Tezos, Ethereum, and we'll do Luna C. Your portfolio is up 237%. Good for you, my friend. Kill it. What's up, Carolina Crypto? What percentage do you try to win on a trade? It's a great question. That answer is answered much better by understanding the R2R or RR, risk to reward. It isn't so much what percent you're looking for to win. It's the ratio of the percent you're looking for to win versus the percent you're willing to lose. So what percent? Bigger, for me, bigger than I would potentially if the stop loss was hit. That's the most important thing for me in trading. There is no kind of static answers in trading, and it can make it really difficult when you're starting, especially to get a holistic idea of what's going on. There's just nothing can be explained in one sentence. Altcoin Daily, I brought this up in the other stream, tweeted like, if you can't explain something in one sentence, you're not an expert. And god dang, I'm not an expert on anything in crypto because or trading, it can't be explained in one sentence. Nothing is that binary or that black and white. Nothing is that simple at all. What's up, Flugita Bus? Diego, let me see who else is here and then I'm gonna jump into these charts. Alchemist, I see you, brother. I'm sorry. Alex, Andrew, Maloney, Arden R, Ava, Juarez, already got you. Briscoe Wolf, Carolina Crypto, Chirp Pals, Data is here. Hopefully he sticks around for the 31st. What's up, Cruz, Red Eye, Sharknado, how you doing, my friend? Crypto, Tatted, Zach, Curb Shifter, DV, David Brum in the house, Dibsy, Diego Rodriguez, doesn't matter to you. Your name is so long. I love you though. Elo Brown, Fajuta Bluss, Joel, and Haley Woudstra. Shout out to Joel and Haley on this Martin Luther King Day. I know you're celebrating. I know you got your decorations up. What's up, John Doe, Khalid, Abdi, Krekong, Lars Larson, Lion in My Pocket. I like that name, man. I'm going to remember that name. Loading name, Mala Jafari. Mala, the beautiful and wise Mala is here. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. What's up, Mahoud, Rafiq, Matt S, Michael, Flaherty, Mountain Man, Olive, Paulo Boyle. Not to be confused with the McDoyles. Raydu, Merrill, can't pronounce that one. Retail Crypto News, R Lake 13, Scotty Swing, Sprouksy, Sin, T-Bone, Pickle, Vivi Puski, Vitruvian Maniac, Wick, W. Loftus. We've got a good crowd. It's Martin Luther King Day, and you are here instead of out having the time of your lives with all the Martin Luther King celebrations. I'm honored. I'm honored. Let's jump into Matic quick and I'll get back to the chat in just a sec. Let's power up an indicator by our sponsor, Lux Algo. I'm going to slap on. Where are you? Price action concepts. You can find tutorial videos on this channel on the homepage for a lot of Lux Algo indicators, as well as things that aren't Lux Algo indicators. I recommend you check them out after the live. On the month, Matic, let's see, failing to hit a higher high this year, it seems. 97.1 cents. We opened the year. We'll call it $1. We're just going to call it $1. Whenever you get that close, you're more likely, in my opinion, to see it interact with just the rounded psychological number. So we're just going to throw $1 on there. We have traded down to 76 cents, teasing the bearish engulfing, but buyers did come in and scooped it up. Resistance above us is obviously going to be the dollar we started with this year, and above that 120, and we can get that over here from the start of 23 where we see price rallied up to the next resistance, about 160, before rejecting and moving down to a higher low, painting a bullish macro structure with the higher low here, the higher high, but struggling a little bit, just like the rest of the market is. Let's put up on the week. I got some order block data. We see support down here. It is a little thin at 50 cents, but that's a nice psychological number as well. I don't really expect Matic to go down there unless we see a greater crypto and Bitcoin sell-off. I don't think like a 30K Bitcoin will push it down that far. We'd have to go pretty low. However, that is a little bit thin here. We see actually a parallel. Yeah, parallel. Block above us at 120, basically giving us a trading range, potentially, if it comes, 50 cents looking to long, $1.20 looking to short, maybe getting to play some sideways chop action. Change of character here, signaled by Lux Algo. I don't know how easy that is to see on the stream. Not a bad sign as you're hitting higher lows still. Could look better. Could look better, but I don't really expect it to look awesome as the entire market is showing some weakness right now. There we are. Pretty strong support chilling at our daily lows, 75 cents. That's a good take. 75 cents. Are you building any kind of divergence, bearish divergence on your highs for the day? You see your price highs moving up, your RSI highs moving down. Potentially have some bullish divergence building as well, and that's probably just going to cancel out the bearish divergence I was talking about. On market cipher B, not the best. Not the best. The green money flow on the day, unable to sustain, getting sold off, and already it looks like moving to a lower low. Not the best. I'd expect, I'd say 80 cents right at the top of this order block. 80 cents is probably a decent scalp. I don't know how far that will take you. Maybe only back to like 86 and change. Something like that. We're going to move on. I just want to see this real low time frame. Not looking quite as good as the corn here. No real risk. No real risk of the divergence. Break a structure. So for today on Matic, if I was looking to trade, what I would likely do is I'd be keeping my eye out for 86 cents, potentially maybe 85 rounded for a lower high. You already got the break of structure signaled by Lux Algo here. Links in the video description. Hey, hell, sign up with Femex. You can trade on Femex too. Our other sponsor. I don't know if my buttons are working. I don't think they are. I don't think they've been working all stream. I'm a clown. It's okay. Let's see if they work now. There, maybe. There we are. Now they're working. Links in the video description below. Basically, making a play, looking for this break of structure to play out. Where would I target? As we said, right on down here in this 80-ish cents area. This is not the best looking. This is the 1 hour time frame, so this is not doom for Matic. But I don't like this. You have multiple tests of support. You've got the break of structure signaled by Lux Algo. If you see lower highs, you're looking for a move to the downside in the very short term. So let's move on from Matic to Tezos, which is actually doing stuff, actually being exciting. Tezos, I guess it didn't get the memo that crypto is selling off as it's pushing higher through even the sell-off now. And in this moment, it does look like it's at its highest point in this year. No wick on top of this candle at $1.23. It did push past 137 coming from March. Again, rejected at the end of the year. Same bearish engulf tease here. Interesting. That could be a very bullish wick if this, if Tezos can get a strong close at the end of the month. If it sells off below $1.13, I would expect Tezos to take a trip back down to the 75 cents-ish area. Probably pretty quick. But that doesn't look like it's what Tezos has in mind. This is a very strong, very different candle from Bitcoin. Almost inverted, actually. Like, I mean, if you ignore this, but like this weekly, it's like a higher high and a bearish engulf close. Tezos seeming to be trending against Bitcoin right now. Money flow in the week looks absurd. Absolutely absurd. Wow. The weekly rolling over. Getting excited, actually. I know I owned some Tezos, but it's not like a huge position. Indicators. Money flow on the day. Not quite as bullish as the week here. Did hit a lower low. This is going to look to roll over, but the weekly likely going to take control. Here's kind of what I could see on Tezos. Maybe move up to the next monthly resistance above us, like $1.40. Coming back to test 113, which was previous resistance. Locally and looking left. As support, there may be a nice little bounce there, or at least a play back to 140. This is kind of surprising. Not going to lie. This is a little surprising. Tezos have never really, or at least in the last many years, have not heard any hype about it. People don't seem too interested in it. And it's defying gravity here. Well, what goes up must come down. I wouldn't depend on it going up forever. But very surprising to me to see a coin that has been in the space so long pulling this move just against the market. It's weird. It's very weird. Tezos is still pushing higher, actually about to hit $1.25. 139 is looking juiced. Looking juiced. I need to do a little bit more TA on this. I see you guys chatting, but I'm in the zone. Give me a second. There we go. Ooh, I like that. I like that very, very much. Using our Fibonacci extension and retracement tool, we have broken 113. Our 1618 extension sitting right around this 139 area. Maybe we'll call it 139 to 140. That's pretty juicy. I like this. You can even see though, you can see here, I don't know if you guys see it, but I see it. You can see problems for Tezos if we see a rejection at 140 and then support doesn't hold. If we see something like this, you can see problems. And for me, it's right here. Moving back to 140, you have your low, rejection from 140, lower low into the bear market, boom, back to 140. A really strong rejection could take you down to 75 cents, could take you down even lower, but eventually this starts to look pretty good. Eventually. I'd prefer if it just blasted through 140. That'd be great. But we don't always get what we want. I can see this really big inverse head and shoulders painting out. That's spicy. Kudos to whoever said, look at Tezos, literally pumping in real time. I'm going to put an alert at 125, and we're going to come back to Tezos if it comes off. Let's go to LUNC, then we'll go to Ethereum. Only because I want to talk shit about LUNC. If you buy LUNC, that is lunacy. My favorite joke. Man, that's getting old fast. Wow. Last month, LUNC smashed up to what looks like it's really only main resistance. I don't know how to deal with this. It isn't inefficiency in the same sense because the supply changed. The supply changed. So it's not inefficiency in the same way we would expect. It'd usually be like, oh, we come back up to fill this. Not if the supply like 1,000x, right? Things get a little different with the token mechanics or tokenomics. LUNC not looking so hot here with that really tall wick, reminiscent maybe of September of 22, lower high. Let's see where we're at. We're not gonna have anything on the month. Potentially finding support. This is psychological. Great little number, 0001. Let's make that perfect. There we go. Potentially finding support there. Maybe there's a trade. I personally would not touch this with this gnarly wick. I don't like it. I don't like it. If you are bullish on LUNC, yeah, I respect your right to be bullish on it. I don't know why, but I respect it. Maybe you're looking at 000118. That was last month's open. You have traded below there already in this month, but a retest of it could give you something. Ooh, of course, it just looks worse and worse. Last week came up, hit resistance, right back down. I don't know, man. I would rather miss the boat than board the Titanic. Shout out to Rico, wherever you are, Rico. We love you. Very wise man. So I've talked some shit on LUNC, but I will, as always, give you the real deal here. Those long time frames do not look good. They don't. However, when you go into the day, not quite as bad. You have a very obvious descending parallel channel. And I'd say 75% of the time, those eventually resolve to the upside. They don't typically do that. They don't typically fall down into the channel and do this. Almost, I don't want to say every time, nothing's every time. Almost always, you will see wherever this bottoms out, return to the 618. Almost always. Let's hypothesize. Go. It's a 0.5. That's if the bottom's in. Let's do it like this. Say 002. 002. Can I get 002? Yeah, I'm going into auctioning. I told you guys that last stream. Quitting the crypto biz, getting into auctioning. That's the real money. Hey, desperate times. Maybe you find support here and move up. I wouldn't trust it. I think 0001 looking much better for LUNC, and you might be able to play that for a 2x to 0002. That's not a bad trade. However, I don't trust this thing. Know your risks before taking trades. Know the assets, know the risks. Not everything in crypto is the same, guys. Can't stress this enough. Crypto, just because something's crypto does not make it decentralized, does not make it not a rug, as you know. I'd be keeping an eye on this. It has a very clear downtrend that hasn't been broken. If you get a close on the day above 00014, things are looking pretty good for that 02 target. All right, moving on. I hate LUNC. I don't really hate it. I hate that people just continuously want to buy it, though. It's like, dude, the whole thing fell apart. why are you buying it? Like, there's just better risk to rewards out there, in my opinion. Let's take a peek of death, and then I'm going to get back to the chat. I'm sorry I went this long. I'm going to get through these charts. Let me peek back at Bitcoin. Hey-yo! 43K on the corn. Let's go. I was wrong. I was wrong, guys. See? I'm wrong sometimes. That's a fake out if I've ever seen one. Nice. The 5 minutes still trucking up, potentially showing us continuation. 15-minute, maybe coiling up. All right, we might be getting a little pump on. Maybe we should put on some pump music. What do you think? That's not a bad candle, son. That's not a bad candle. Let's go. Actually, really good candle. In the next 5.5 hours, I'm going to be watching Bitcoin incredibly closely on Martin Luther King Day for that close below 42.8. If we can close up here, things actually look very good, much closer than I would expect. Probably test a 44K. Hell, it might be incoming now. This is looking pretty angry, isn't it? Good volume there on the last 5-minute candle. Close strong. 1 minute, not really chilling. Showing no signs of chill. I like unexpected pumps. A lot of the time I'm looking for the pump. But when I'm not looking for the pump and it pumps, those are the sweetest pumps. They're the best. Those are the best. Wow. Cool. Let's go. Let's go, guys. We were all doom and gloom earlier. Now it's not looking too bad. I'm going to look for some other time frames here. It looks like we're moving past 4-hour resistance or closes. We got to close this candle still. Same on the 2-hour. This is pretty clear. We're pretty clear. Not too much farther. We're pretty clear to 43.4 at this point. We're already above pretty much every time frame's candles. 43.4 looking very juicy. Looking very juicy on the 2-hour right here. Right at your point of efficiency before the drop. Cleared on the 4, just got to see a close. 6, really the same thing. Almost every time frame we look at has something around 43K. Just got to see these time frames wrap up above. The 12-hour has a lot lower bar here. Just needs to close above 42.8. Same with the day. Anything above 42.8 on our close is going to look very, very good. This is already in a bullish engulf above our order block, and things are spicing up quickly here. They're spicing up rather quickly. Let's go. Let's go. No pump song, because maybe it'll stop pumping. Yes. We've got 650 viewers. Not bad. Not bad for a holiday. When not too much is going on. We were slaying some numbers. Holy shit, were we slaying numbers. Last week with the ETF stuff, oh my god, we had like 4,000 people viewing and it wasn't even sure how. I was blown away. This is to be expected. It's a little chiller. What's up, Macy J? Coulterman? Juanito, get those shorts ready, says Juanito. You guys looking to you looking to short it or long it? 55% of us are looking for 50K, 45 looking for 30. I think they're both good opinions. You have a long open on INJ from $7.45. Well done, Music Tags. What's up, Crypto Steve-O? How you doing, brother? How you doing? Hi, crypto friends. How you doing, Alex? Gulf Wizard. The floor is lava. You guys love that song. Put a 1 in chat if you want Floor is Lava. I'll put it on. We got to get like, I don't know, 10 people. You need like 10 people to say they want to hear it. Because I like it, but I don't want to annoy people. Happy Monday, Shirley Sound. Monkey, you only count for 1 vote. All right, that's enough. That's plenty. We got it. It is a good song, isn't it? It just has this awful tendency to not be when it goes up. Because the floor is lava. It's hot. It's bad. It's telling you about the floor, not the ceiling. I don't know. All right, we'll put it on. Gotta turn it up. There we go. Get It Girl. Get It Girl is a good song too. Are we a DJ channel now? We're about to be. What's up, Jason? Frosted Flake. Yannick. Peak Quan. Optimo Supremo. Big Hands Little Spoon, my favorite name. CSSI Matrella AF. You guys ready for the pump? You're like, I don't know. Is it going to pump? I don't know. I think we're going to 43.4 today. You broke your high. But you know what you need to do? You need to watch out. The floor is lava.
Watch out! The floor is lava!
Oh yeah. Get the little anime dances in. Pump it. Pump it, short it. What do you think, Nigo? Pump it. Oh, good dog. Watch out, the floor is lurber. Watch out, the Discord is not lava. Join it. Let's go. 43.4. Will the call be correct? We're about to find out in real time. Real time.
Watch out! The floor is lava!
Watch out. Because there's lava. Support is lava. Don't touch it. Armin van Buren's new record release. What is that? Comes for the ETF holders Tuesday. Maybe make them buy high, baby.
Watch out! The floor is lava!
Mr. Enigma. I don't know, man. Let it live its life, man. Get him a pink basket. Oh, man. Let's go. Let's go. Go, Bitcoin. Go. Go. It's lava. Go. 43.4. Waiting for the pump. Can we get it? Did you know that the floor is lava? Fun fact. That is a good song. That's a great song. I like DJing, but I don't know. You could DJ or we could chart. Ethereum not looking bad. Told you guys to set an alert on Ethereum for 0.555. That alert going off would likely be the signal that Ethereum is looking to rip. Looks like Ethereum ripped over the last few days against Bitcoin, trading up to 0.06. That's a pretty big move against Bitcoin. But more importantly, closing candles above resistance, above that 0.555. Looking back, this has been, look at this busy chart. Pretty much for the entirety of BTC's existence, this has been an important level that has been fought over by the and BTC bears. This is a great start. It's a great start. Almost certainly a bullish engulf, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, buddy. Oh yeah. I think Ethereum at minimum this month is going to trade to 0.063. Back up to our efficiencies on the monthly, but this setup, you can get the big runs. You can. If you look to the left and kind of say, well, what does this look like anything? It kind of looks like back here. Not going to lie. Not going to lie. It kind of looks like back here. A little different setup. You can see the lower lows before it pops up. Just something I'm keeping an eye on. Against the dollar, Ethereum looks pretty damn good. Let's go back to that chart. Touching 2,689 perfectly. Well done. But back down to 2,500 and change. Not suffering the same fate, it seems, as Bitcoin. Ethereum also forgetting, I guess, that the market is sold off. Looking pretty strong on the week. Looking for a retest of our highs at 26. Market Cipher B very strong on the weekly. I'll take it. I will take it. Like this too. Like this too. Unlike Bitcoin, which looks more like this, Ethereum has sold off from this resistance, but again, kind of similar to Luna C that we looked at. This sell-off is not as severe. There's actually some bullish selling. Nah, bullish selling is gibberish. But taking our channel, I wonder if we can fit like a decent channel here. There you go. Something like that. It's not perfect. I just threw it on there. But you can see a descending high trend down here that it did break and backtest, and now it's sitting right there at the high, slightly having broken it. Got some bullish divergence on your lows. Your highs are looking pretty healthy. Hourly about to roll over here. Yeah, buddy. Ethereum, I think, is going to see some upside price action. Even Bitcoin doesn't move. It's fine. 26. Getting hot. Pause this treadmill. I'm walking so slow, but this room's heating up. Definitely have some bullish divergence on your 4 hour with your lows here. This is not bad. Here's what I don't want to see. I know maybe some of you were here earlier and watched the Matic one. So here's what I don't want to see. I don't want to see Ethereum's rally here today. I'd say over the next 16 hours or so, maybe like 4 hour candles. I don't want to see it fail to break its high. I don't want to see another lower high. You get another lower high and you start looking like that awful dump pattern. Definitely not like confirmed or locked in yet, but I'm keeping an eye on it. Let's see. The price to beat will be 25.9, and YouTube's not getting enough data to maintain a smooth streaming experience. Users will experience buffering. But it's the worst time to buffer. It's the worst time to buffer, man. I don't even know if you guys can hear this, but Bitcoin moved up again, literally when this started. Hold on. Hold up. Give us a sec. Let everything settle out. Simmer. On my side, it says it's good, but it does say we are dropping packets. 1%. Not much we can do. Bitcoin's pumping. Hopefully we stay connected here. Does not look likely, though. Not receiving enough data. Yikes. Chirpow doesn't have the data. YouTube doesn't have the data. Who in this goddamn mixed up world has the data? Oh, Bitcoin's got the data to 43.4. Was not looking for this earlier. But as soon as we broke through that order block on the day, sitting at 42.8, things became much spicier. Now looking for our 1618 extension from our local swing high to low. That puts us right at 43.4. Getting alerts. Bitcoin breaking 43.3. Yeah, that's what it's happening right now. I'm getting that alert. It already happened. Oh, no, it didn't. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, maybe we're not buffering anymore. Definitely lost a bunch of viewers. It happens every time we disconnect. That's okay, fam. Because Bitcoin is a pumping. You are the data. That's right, my friend. You are the data. Be the data. YouTube is lava. Dude, Philip, you're right on. YouTube is lava. It's lava. You know what? I'm liking this. I was not as bullish this morning. I'm liking this daily setup now. That candle looking juicy. That's a juicy close. The only thing that matters to me is that these gains are held onto into the daily close. And someone commented about ETF buyers on Tuesday. You're totally correct. Only iShares is open at the moment, to my knowledge. The other one's not trading until tomorrow. And I'm just saying, if I were the market makers, if I were the whales, I'd probably push the price up every day right at those ETF opens and then dump it. But hopefully we don't get the dump. Like we said, a nice solid green candle here today could really make things look good. I'm going to change this back just to get a peek at what it looks like in the original. We're going to stick with the original. Is this the original? Yeah, it's the original. Awesome price action here. I was skeptical of the order block, but that's some awesome freaking price action. Looking right here, really any close above 23 or 42.3. 23, what am I doing? That's like years ago. Will look okay. However, it still gives us the threat of what happens right back at the top of this channel. We were looking for, in the bearish scenario, something like this to happen with a rejection from the top and bottom of the channel. We were. All I want to see is a close on the channel. That's it. That's the same alert phone. Why give me the same alert? Slow wick. Man, this week is going to be set up bigly by this close today. Bigly. Very bigly. Did we hit it yet? Quite. Can't look away though. Bitcoin is bullish on Martin Luther King Day. Let's go. When I opened the stream with the most bearish thing I've said in months. Isn't that just how it works? All right, fam. We've had some technical issues, as always, because we are just an amateur professional stream, but a one-man show for the most part. Shout out to Pickle and Moggy. You guys help a lot. I love you. But the close today is going to be really important to the rest of the week, so I'm going to be watching closely. I recommend you join me in Discord. I'll be chatting there today. If you haven't checked out the Patreon yet, it's time to invest in yourself. Sign up for exclusive trade setups, educational trading content, social nights, more intimate learning environments, all the goodies. It is the #1 tool to help you survive this bull market that is here and may take some time to play out, but it's #1 tool to help you. Check it out, guys. We will be live again when the spice is spicy or on Wednesday. So everybody enjoy your days. Happy Martin Luther King Day. Go put your decorations up. Crown out.